Hello everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my long-awaited, I have meant to do this video for ages, 1000k celebratory Q&A. I am so excited. I asked you, I believe on Twitter and on the YouTube community tab, to give me some questions, and I am here to finally answer them and celebrate hitting 1k. First off, I do want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel or even followed me on other platforms. It means the world. I'm so happy to have you in my little book family, book community here in my little spot on the internet. So thank you so much. We hit 1k. We're actually over 1,100 of us now, which is amazing, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. So let's go ahead and get started with this Q&A. Grab a coffee or tea or some other beverage of your choice, and let's get to answering some of these questions. Okay, so I have put all of the questions into this little acorn jar, which is the best thing I've ever found. It is from Joann's from like last year, and we couldn't find one, and then my friend Erin found one and bought it for me, and I love it. It's amazing. So we're calling it, for the sake of this video, we're going to call it the Ask Me Anything Acorn, and it holds all of the questions that I will be answering in this video. So let's go ahead and pull out question number 1. Alright, question number 1 is, what TV show deserves to be given more seasons and or rebooted? This question is very, very easy for me to answer, and which one deserves to be given more seasons? 100% Bones. It is my favorite TV show of all time. I love it. Emily Deschanel, David Boreanaz, and the entire cast were phenomenal, and I was very sad that the show had to end. And that is the show I think deserves more seasons, and we're coming up with it being off air for, has it been close to 10 years now? How long have we, hold on, we're gonna find out how long we've been off air. Alright, I looked it up. It has been since 2017, so it has been 5 years. 5 years, not 10. Whew, I didn't think it was that far back, but 5 years. So I almost feel like, could we use like a one-off episode, like a movie special or something, where it's been 5 years since everything happened at the end of Bones? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be nice to have everyone back together. But yeah, deserves more. Bones. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done with this question. I thought I was, but I have a second answer. Not just Bones, but also Prodigal Son. For some odd reason, there's something with Fox shows. Because Prodigal Son, fantastic show, only had 2 seasons, and they were gypped. They were gypped out of way more episodes. They deserve better. They deserve more. I'm pretty sure that there is a change.org survey, or not survey, petition to save Prodigal Son on Fox. So, you know, I'm gonna link that down below. So if you want to go and sign it, and then watch Prodigal Son. I'm not sure if it's still available on Hulu or not. It's such a great show, and it deserved better. It deserved more. It deserved better. Prodigal Son and Bones are my 2 answers for this question. Alrighty, question number 2 out of the acorn is this one. Alright, question number 2. What is your favorite book this year or overall? Alright, so overall, encompassing all, we're going to go with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I actually kind of have a Schwab-themed outfit on today. I'm a little, like, I have a red London shirt from Jordan Dene, as well as my red sweater, so I feel very Kel. But yes, so The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and for this year, I'm going to go with, I could go with Addie because I did reread that this year, but I think overall so far, anyway, there's still 2 months left of the year when I'm filming this, but Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young is definitely, so far I think, my highlight for this year. My favorite book for this year so far is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, I think. Yeah. Alright. Question number 3 is most anticipated book of 2022. Okay. Let's see. Is there a book that comes out soon that I'm excited for that I haven't thought of? I don't know if there's any more coming out this year. My most anticipated was probably Spells for Forgetting from Adrienne Young. Oh, Saint! Saint by Adrienne Young comes out soon. So, Saint. I'm looking forward to that one. I actually have an arc of Saint, and I need to read that soon. So that might be my next book. A lot of Adrienne Young. I love her writing. Another one that was anticipated was Wild as the Witch by Rachel Griffin, which I loved. Yeah, so let's see. We'll throw on, since we're close to the end of the year, we'll throw on most anticipated book of 2023, and I'm sure that is going to be Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, the sequel to Ninth House. So those are kind of my past anticipated reads that have already come out, and one for next year. Let's get go one. What is your least favorite book of all time? Oh, okay. Least favorite book of all time. Least favorite book of all time. I've mentioned this in a TikTok, I think, and that would be, oh my gosh, what's the name of it? The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. I had high hopes for that book, and after reading There's Someone Inside Your House, I had high hopes for her next, like, horror thriller book. I loved her Anna and the French Kiss series. I loved There's Someone Inside Your House. I was horrendously creeped out by egg timers. But There's Someone Inside Your House was, I think, it was almost like too good. And I was let down by The Woods Are Always Watching. I had high hopes for that book, and it fell really flat, which was kind of upsetting because I wanted to love it so much, and honestly, I probably should have DNF'd it. I didn't, and I pushed through, and I should have DNF'd it, but yeah, that's probably one of my least favorite books, or at least my least favorite read of this year. Next question is, if you could pick a book to live in, which book would you pick and why? If I could pick a book to live in, which book would you pick and why? That is so hard. You know, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, well, what place would I want to live in? And I want to say London. If I was given an opportunity of a place to live, I would say London, or England in general. So now I'm like, okay, what books do I have to pick from that I love, or I like the world that is kind of like, and it's either like, Clockwork Angel, like Victorian London, Shadowhunter London, or I feel like it's like Red London kind of situation. So which one do I go with? I feel like, which one? Where do I want to go? You know, I think I'm gonna go with A Darker Shade of Magic, and we're gonna go Red London, but I'm gonna find a way to be able to travel to all four, even Black London. Bring it. Yeah, we're gonna go with A Darker Shade of Magic. That might be a mistake if that ever actually happened, but we're going for it, so. Darker Shade of Magic, Red London, here I come. Alright, so next question. Next question is, in your opinion, what TV show currently ended should never be given more seasons or rebooted? Currently ended. Please don't reboot. And this is not because I don't like the show. It's because I love the show and I don't want to see it ruined. because I'm not a big fan of the Charmed remake. So unless you're gonna reboot it and give us a solid ending to Angel, go for it. I'll take a solid ending to that show because that was not a solid ending. But Buffy, let's not reboot Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just don't do it. Please don't. I think it was perfectly fine how it ended, and its continuation into Angel was great, but let's not reboot Buffy, and unless you're gonna give me a true ending to Angel, I don't want to see a reboot of that either. Let's stick with some new shows, right? Or even a new spin-off even. I'll take a spin-off, but I don't want it rebooted. I don't want other new character. No. None of that. Just spin-offs are fine if you want to do some spin-offs, but leave the OG characters alone. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Next question is, have you read any book more than 100 times? I do not believe so. I don't think I have. The only thing I could think of maybe that I've read more than 100 times would be like if I was a little kid learning to read and my like Bob books. It's possible as a kid learning to read that I may have read those books over 100 times. But I do not think I have currently read any book even close to 100 times. Maybe getting close to like 5 times maybe. I've read The Truth About Forever quite a few times, but nowhere near 100, and I don't think I ever will read a book more than 100 times. I just don't think there's too many new books to read to even think about rereading a book 100 times. Then again, if I reread a book, well, no, because I feel like you would have to start doing that as soon as you were able to read. If you were going to like reread a book multiple times and then you lived to be 100, you could totally read it 100 times, right? But yeah, I don't know. The short answer is no, I have not read a book more than 100 times. I am complicating these answers. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, so next up is, what is the last manga you read? The last manga I read was the Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World, Volume 3. I think that is the last manga I read. Yeah, that's the last one I read. So the next question, what countries would you like to travel to? Off the top of my head, I'm going to say I would like to go back to France. I have family, for lack of a better word, family there, so I would like to see them. Prague, I would like to go there, or Czechoslovakia, or Czech Republic, called Czech Republic now, Slovakia as well, Romania, pretty much all of Eastern Europe I would like to visit, Japan. There are a lot of places I want to go. There are a lot of places. I really need to stop just going to England and going to London, because there are plenty of other places that I would like to visit eventually throughout my time on this planet. So, but if I had to get on a plane right now, I would say either France or Czech Republic. Next question. Which language other than your mother tongue has had the most influence on you? French. 100% French. Yeah, French. My mom wanted to learn it. We were kind of learning it together. And then we had a, not an exchange student, but like, it wasn't an exchange student. We had my friend / French sister, Margot, come stay with us for a few weeks actually. How long was she even here? During the summer after 9th grade. And so that was because of French class. So, and we call each other family to this day. And that was over 15 years ago. So definitely French has had an impact on my life and influence on my life. Next up is, this is kind of fun actually. Which brook brought Which book brought tears to my eyes? Oh, I cry in a lot of books. I'm a crier. If you don't know that about me, you do now. I'm a crier. So I cry in a lot of books. So Addie LaRue, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Probably cried in ACOTAR. Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. So many. So many. A lot. Yeah. There's a lot. A lot of nonfiction books, because I read a lot of, like, biographies from people or memoirs, so those make me cry. So many tears have been shed over pages of books. Pretty much since I've been a reader, which is pretty much when I learned to read, so. All the tears. All the tears. Alright, so next up, actually, we're gonna take another little coffee break. I'm gonna readjust. Alright, next up. What is your favorite dessert? Cake. If I'm gonna automatically say a dessert, I'm gonna say cake. Honestly, it doesn't necessarily matter what kind of cake. I'm a big chocolate person, but I also love carrot cake. Yes, I am one of those people who likes vegetables in cake. Mostly just carrot cake. Do not put other vegetables in cake. But yeah, cake, cupcakes, regular layer cake, any kind of cake. There were jokes when I was on the set as an extra for Hunger Games that I was always excited that when Crafty gave us cake as dessert for lunch. I would take multiple pieces of cake because I love cake. So, favorite dessert? Cake. Next question. I don't even know what number this is anymore. Which book character do you relate to the most? I feel like there's a mix. I feel like there's always a mix of characters you relate to, and I relate to a lot because one of the things I look for in a book, like how I feel about it being like a favorite or a 5-star, is if I relate to the characters in some way. It could be the most minute way, but I need to be able to relate to a character in some fashion. Whether it's a personality trait, a life event, an opinion they have, something about them, something about their personality, something about their experience, any of those things. I just want to be, or even if it's like, oh, they like this sport, just something that'll help me grab hold of that character and like really begin to understand them. So I relate to a lot of characters. A lot of my favorite books have characters I relate to, like Henry and Addie from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Nesta from ACOTAR, specifically A Court of Silver Flames, Tessa from Clockwork Angel or the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. Usually I would have said Tessa. I feel like it's more of a mix of possibly those 4 that I've just mentioned, I think, are a good mix. Is there anyone else that completely stands out at this time? I don't think so. So I'm going to say a mixture of those 4. So we'll say Henry and Addie, Tessa, and Nesta. Those are the 4, I think, right off the top of my head that I relate to the most. But it is a very important thing about reading is to relate to the characters for me. I prefer character arcs and character-driven stories over plot. So, yeah. Alright, so I think we just have a handful of questions left. So let's go with, do you think that while reading a translated work, you're losing the flavor of the literature written in the original language? I think that would depend on who the translator is. Is it a translator who is fluent or whose first language is that original language and then translated it for the author? that I think you would benefit more from the original language as well because of the person who is translating it, compared to like say for instance, I guess let me use maybe French as an example. So if a French speaker where French is their first language translated a work into English for a French author, I could see where that flavor of the French language might still come through in the translated work. But perhaps if an English speaker, if first language is English, obviously mine isn't. I don't know what language I'm speaking right now. If someone whose first language is English but knows French translated a French work into English, I feel like you may lose a little bit of that original meaning, just because I feel like maybe the word choices or how you would turn the sentences might be a bit different. If that makes any sense at all, I don't even know if I was speaking English right then. But I think you'll understand what I meant. But yeah, I think it just depends on who is doing the translating more than who's doing the reading necessarily. If that makes any sense at all. Because I've read some translated works that I feel like I had a pretty decent grasp on. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. But then again, I've never read the original, so I think that's kind of like it's a little give and take when it comes to translated work. Alright, our next question, is that one question? Yeah, that was one, is, if you were an animal, what would it most likely be? Okay, I'm gonna send this one to you guys before I give my answer. Let me know in the comments, if I were an animal, what animal would I most likely be in your opinion? What animal do you think I am most likely to be? I'm gonna wait for a little bit. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and let you all type in the comments. I just want to see your answers. I think this is just a fun one. Like, if you look at me and what animal vibe do I give off? I'm like excited yet terrified to read these answers, but please just let me know. I'll wait here. Okay. I'm going to go with one of my favorite animals, and I'm going to say, if I were an animal, what would it most likely be? And I'm going to go with a red panda. And I'm going to go with this because they seem really chill, but then there's also the moments, if you see the videos, where they like jump out and scare their friends, and I think that's kind of funny. And so they're kind of like cool and chill, but then they got like a little energy to them. A little, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a red panda. I'm interested to see your answers. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm just feeling that. It's one of my favorite animals. And I feel like we would vibe very, very well if I was to meet a red panda in real life. Hopefully one day that'll happen. I've seen them from afar, but I would love to hold one day. It'd be great. I love them. They're cute little faces. Anyway, okay, moving on. So we have 1, 2, 3 left. 3 left. And our next question is this one. My nose itches. What is one wish that will never come true? I mean, I feel like there's a lot that would never come true, but let's be realistic. I'm gonna go on with a fairly obvious one that I think all of us wish would come true, and that is the ability to read all the books ever in the world. Definitely not gonna happen because there's just way too many for all of us to enjoy every single one, but that is definitely one wish that will never come true, is to read all the books, but I can only just read as many as I possibly can in that time. So read all the books. The next to the last question is, what is your most favorite book of all time? I would normally say, when someone asks what my favorite book is, Obviously, I would be like, do I have to pick? Like, don't make me pick. But I usually would say The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm realizing that this year in particular, I'm realizing this is an outdated answer. While I do love The Great Gatsby, fabulous book, I would really, really love to own a first edition of that book someday. It is like one of my goals in life is to own a first edition of The Great Gatsby with the little mistakes and all. Another wish that may or may not come true. But I'm starting to realize that I think my real answer to this question is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Yeah, I think that book just holds more meaning to my heart, to my soul. I really think that is like my soul book, is The Invisible Life by Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So, my favorite book of all time, Addie LaRue. And finally, our last question, let's see, are we ending with a book question or a different question? Different question. Okay. In your opinion, what TV show currently ended should never be given more seasons or rebooted? There's so many shows that are being rebooted right now, but I really do not want to see Buffy the Vampire Slayer be rebooted. The original is excellent as it is, as are many old CW shows. Let's not reboot any more of them. No more. Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's just leave Buffy the Vampire Slayer in its original format. Nothing extra. I think it's good how it is. Alright, that was it. That was the last question. Thank you so much for all of the questions that were asked. I think I got them all in the posts, but when in doubt, I'm sure there will be another Q&A down the line. Thank you again for subscribing, and if you are brand new and this is the first video you're seeing of me, well, welcome to Whimsical Narratives, welcome to my channel. This was probably a great introduction of me for you. Please, I hope you'll stick around. Come read with us. I do reading sprints and all kinds of things on this channel. So if you aren't subscribed already, click that subscribe button, like this video, and come hang out with me and all of us here in the community on my channel during sprints and the like. And I feel like I'm babbling, so I'm just gonna go. Thank you all for watching this video. If you felt the need to answer any of these questions, answer them in the comments. I want to see your answers as well. And if you just want to let me know that you're here, drop a coffee cup emoji down in the chat. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, evening, whenever I upload this video, and I will see you all in the next one. So take care and happy reading, everyone. Bye.